could sell it, my brother could. And my brother actually was like, "You're gonna buy a car? Let me come with you. Let me come with you. You know, I want to do this." I'm like, "Are you serious? Okay, come with me." And he had the poor salesman sweating bullets because he's so nice about it. You know, my brother's like, "Oh, these are really. Thank you. This is crap. You need to go back in there and thank you." And they're like, "Can we get lunch? We've been waiting for a while. Can we get lunch?" You know, and it was like, I'm like, "Oh my God!" And by the time, you know, it's like, I just got a car for exactly what I wanted to pay for. Thank you, brother. And he loves it, but it's just fun to watch him in action. But see, cars. We got to cars. What is wrong with me? Questions? Yes, you.
I watched Heroic Age early, and I was amazed that you played Age because that was so different.
So was I early.
And what inspired that? Because that was just random.
What inspired Age was, well, I didn't know. I wrote a lot of the adaptation for it. I probably worked about 3/4 of that show. Because Eric Vale, the head writer, kind of came to me and said, "Hey, I've got this great mecha show, and I know that's your thing, and you're into mythology, and there's a lot of that kind of interwoven." So I wrote, you know, and before audition, usually at least 1/4 of the completed scripts are done. And so I was, you know, and that's not the first time that's happened, where I'll write a show and be like, "Who am I going to play?" And I couldn't, there wasn't a character in that show that I thought I could play that was in my range. I'm like, you know, well, here's that character. I could do that, but I wouldn't cast me as that character. And I never would have cast myself as Age because I thought, no, that's not me. I'd never played that young character before. I never explored that range. And then Joel McDonald, you know, who directed it and of course also played Aeolus, had me into audition. I'm like, I'm gonna do the normal ones. I'm gonna go out for the crazy villain. I'm gonna go out for Aeolus. You know, the characters that is expected for me to go out for. And then he goes, "Well, I really want you to read for Age." I'm like, "Age is 17 years old. I haven't been 17 in almost the same amount of years." And he's like, "No, you should try it. You really should try it." And I'm like, let me get a glass of water. And it was funny because Joel and I started talking about this, and I realized I really love Heroic Age. It show's very close to my heart because, to me, it takes me back to being a kid and watching all these anime that I grew up with before I knew what anime was. You know, it was just shows that I'm like, you know, these gigantic, epic, sometimes very dark and brooding space operas, we call them, you know, like Star Blazers. I'm sure, you know, Star Blazers, I'm getting some head nods there. People remember that show. It's a great show. Macross, which was originally, came out here as Robotech, you know, and things like that. I grew up on that stuff when I was a kid, and you can totally tell in Heroic Age that show is like, you know, the animators, and that is totally that's an otaku love letter to all the great classic, you know, shows, because they try to work in all those elements, and they do. I think they do a wonderful job of balancing it all. So I loved writing the show because of the dialogue, you know, getting to use that sort of exalted speech. You know, I loved writing Dianela's stuff because she gets to be so elegant and royal sounding, and then Age is like Futo leg, and so it was funny that the inspiration for Age, once we got recording it, I was so surprised that I got the part that I was like, "Oh, are you crazy? I can't," you know. But then we just kind of, you know, and they didn't have to pitch my voice up or anything. I mean, that was my sort of natural range. And I realized that, you know, I became a kid again when I'm in the booth for this because I'm a kid watching anime, and so it's kind of like it's come full circle. You know, I'm this kid. So that's really where Age came from, was me going, "Yay, I'm 14 years old and I'm watching Voltron." and it was like, so the whole time, and it would crack Joel up because he would just smile like, "You really love what you do, don't you?" Like, "You have no idea. I so love this job." See, I can't even do Age this morning because I had an egg sandwich for breakfast. You can't have an egg sandwich if you're going to do Age because then he just sounds like an old man. Hello, everyone. All right, more questions. Yes, you.
I had two things. What was it like being a host and working with all the other people for host or on High School Host Club? And today's my little sister's birthday. Could you say happy birthday to her in your yo-yo?
Oh, absolutely, I will. I'll say happy birthday first because I'll forget if I don't do it now. So stand up. Can I see your? Can I see your? Is that a Tamaki or is that a Tamaki doll that you've got? Oh, I just saw the blonde hair and the blue eyes, and I assumed Tamaki. We'll just say it was Tamaki in cosplay. So, all right. Well, let's see. I'll do Kyoya. What's your name? Say it again?
Alejandra.
Alejandra? Oh, that's such a pretty name. Isn't that a pretty name? Well, Alejandra, happy birthday to you, and welcome to the host club. You're a bit young to be in the host club, though. Maybe when you get to high school. But save up. Because it's all wrong. It's not going to be cheap. And if you have your own pink paint, bring it. Because we need to touch up the ceiling. Seriously, happy birthday. Everyone give her a happy birthday. And my inspiration, or what it was like working with everyone else on the cast, was oh my God, are you kidding? It was great. I was the last person to record on the first 8 episodes of that show because just the timing schedule, you know. So it was like go, 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 because I was off doing other things, and Caitlin was like, "You're playing Kyoya, get over here," you know. And Vic had already come in, and so many other people were from out of town that they just kind of flew them in, recorded them first, and because I was local, they're like, "We'll get to you." And then suddenly it's like, "Oh, we've got a day to do 8 episodes. Get Tatum in," you know. So it was like, you know. It's great because you feel like a superhero. It's like one take Tatum, get him in, you know, we got 12 hours and you know whatever. We've only got 8 gigs of memory left on the hard drive and no room for screw ups. Get Tatum in there, which by the way doesn't actually happen. But I mean, Kyoya, apart from Mori, who has like next to no lines, yeah, and I think they recorded Mori first. Like he was like the contrabass note, you know, and Vic is the soprano, and you know, and I guess I'm the countertenor. But everyone else was already recorded, and I'm like, Kyoya is the one character that doesn't get crazy. I mean, he's the one that just sort of sits there with his arms folded. He might crack a smile, like idiots, you know, and write in his little black book, you know. But apart from like episode 17, where he is grumpy all day, but even then, he never gets big. He's just like, "This is crap. I hate you all." Which is me on a normal day if I'm like up before 10.
He's got the eyes of the beast.
Yeah. Which really happens, by the way, with me. Before 10 a.m. I used to throw things at people that woke me up. I did. It's a terrible story. I had a phone in my room when I was a child. And when I was a child back in the day. And you know, my friends didn't understand that I kept a Kyoya schedule. I'm up till 5 o'clock balancing the books. Damn it, I need to sleep. And so it's Saturday and it's noon, and my friends are raring to go because they're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and morning people that I can't stand. You know, chip, 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 chip. You know, cartoon birds do their hair in the morning, and I'm just not that person. And my friends would come over to try to wake me up, knocking on the windows, and one of them would call me, and I would just finally just start knocking the phone off the, you know, or kicking it, like it was in, would just reach enough that I couldn't quite pick it up without getting out, so I'd just be like, and I think one time I did it and the phone fell on the floor and the receiver came off and I just shrieked, "Somebody had better be dead!" And so I got...